How's it going, everybody? Welcome back into another video, and today is another movie review. We're back with another movie review. You already know what we doing on these Lautaret streets. We're back with another movie review. Just real quick, Dune, social media team, y'all are the real ones. Not only did they retweet my tweet, which is still days later getting notifications that people are liking and retweeting it, which is sick. They took my tweet and posted it on their Instagram story, which is pretty cool. I'm very excited for Dune. You all know. Boop. Boop. Right there. That was really difficult. It's mirrored. So, like, I think I should know better than that. It's ridiculous. But thanks to the people at Dune, it's really cool. And now let me see the movie early, please. Warner Brothers, Legacy, Dune. Let me see it. All right. That's not what we're here to talk about, Dune. We're not here to talk about Dune. We're here to talk about a film that I actually was kind of looking forward to. I saw the trailer, saw the cast, very intrigued about the subject matter. And no, it's not Old by M. Night Shyamalan. I'm not seeing that movie. Too creepy for me. Don't like that vibe. Today, we're talking about Joe Bell, a movie that I actually was really looking forward to. You got Mark Wahlberg in here. You got a very emotional, impactful story. I was very interested. So I think without further ado, let's get into the review. So going right off the top, I just mentioned him. Mark Wahlberg is the best part of this film. He gives, I would say, career best performance. And yes, he's been in a lot of movies. He's done a lot of great work. I think this is his best performance. I really do. I think he had to go to some really deep levels. He's got a very layered character, and it just was very, very well done by him. I mean, he brought out so many emotions, and just he's not going to get any Oscar hype. He's not, and that kind of sucks because it's a really good performance. But he's definitely the best part of this film, and then the other best part, and I need to make sure I get his name right because he deserves all the recognition in the world because he's absolutely brilliant in this movie. Sorry, let me pull up my tweet. Reid Miller, who plays Mark Wahlberg's son, is the shining light of this film. Gives the best performance of the film. Mark Wahlberg is fantastic, but Miller gives the best performance of the film, shows all the entire spectrum of emotion, and shows a scared kid that is being ruthlessly bullied for the fact that he is gay. It's the most heartbreaking performance of the year, I think, probably besides performances in Mass. Just on a whole different level. So I had to give Reid Miller the floor because he was just brilliant in this film. Just absolutely amazing and fantastic. This film has a really big impact. It had an impact on me. I think anyone that watches this film, it's going to leave a mark. It may not be the best film in the world. You'll see that in my score. It's not the best film in the world, but it left an impact on me. Now, we all know about bullying. We know that bullying is a thing. I know that bullying is a thing. But to see it at a level like this, to really give the real impact, because a lot of movies that deal with bullying and things like that, they get hyper polarized, or they're not polarized, like they're glamorized, and it's not ever the raw, real, kind of impactful stuff that you really need to see when it comes regarding bullying. This was that. This was the horrific look that everyone needs to see about what people deal with every day when it comes to bullying. This film did that, and I really respected it for it, and I think it needed to happen. This is a story, this is a film that everyone needs to see. Everyone. And it will leave an impact on you. It really, really will. With that, we got real emotion. You know, the tear. You know, I gotta keep a cry counter. I'm gonna start that next year, a cry counter for every film that I review that I cried in. I did not cry in this film, so I would give it like a half point. I did tear up and get teary-eyed. I was almost there. You almost got me, Joe Bell. You almost got me. It watching this kind of domino effect of events, because the beginning of the story is, like, the beginning of the film is very like we've already passed the event that has driven this forward. That's as far as I'm gonna go on that. But then we go back in time, and as we see JoBell going on this journey, we are seeing the events that led to that moment. A bit of a gripe with some of the storytelling. I'll get into that in my negatives, but watching this story brought out real emotion. It was impactful, it was effective, and it did affect me on a very deep level. I got very emotional. It was very hard to watch at times, and just very well done. Very well done in terms of that. I liked the there is a father-son dynamic in here that is very rocky. And that's kind of the whole basis of this story, is JoBell trying to find acceptance for the fact that he was not the father he needed to be. He was not a great role model. He was not a great supporter. And the entirety of this story is him, JoBell, played by Mark Wahlberg, trying to come to acceptance with that. He's been living this lie to himself, thinking that he did do enough, and he can't imagine why the things that happened are happening. But then we get to the end of the film, and it is just a story of acceptance, saying, no, I was not. I was not an ally to my son. I was not a friend to my son. I did not help my son. And when we get to those moments, they hit deep because it's real. This is based off a true story. This is something that actually happened. And it just really was good. It was very impactful. Very, very well done. But with the good comes the bad. I think the main gripe I have here is with the storytelling. It is hard to follow at times. I like where they went with it. Didn't have that big of an issue with what they were trying to do. I just think my main gripe was that it just was very confusing. I had to get back into my brain and think, okay, where were we just? Where were we? And really try to grapple with, okay, so we're here. This is what's happening. Okay, I get it. So I don't think the writing is as clear cut as it could have been. A story like this doesn't need to be complicated. It can be pretty clear cut. And that was just one of the gripes I had. This movie felt like 4 hours. The runtime is an hour and a half on the dot. This movie felt like an eternity. It is not paced well at all. And I know that films like this aren't always paced well. I like a lot of films that are like this. I think a lot of films like this are really well done. There's just something about this one that I was just like, yo, are we almost done? I wasn't sure. So I think it's very long. I do not think it's paced very well. Had a gripe with that. But again, it comes down to really just, this is a very impactful story. It cuts deep and it cuts hard. And it's just, I give major props to everyone involved with this for doing that, because you could have glamorized it. You could have not truly gone for it, but you did. So I give my utmost respect for that. But I think that's pretty much it with that. I think without further ado, let's just get into the point breakdown. Let me show you where I rated this film. So, entertainment, I'm going to give a 10 out of 15. This isn't really a movie to be entertained by. It's kind of hard to rate it on that level, but in the grand scheme of the film itself, I was bored at times. It did get a little dull. Like I said, the pacing is pretty weak. So I gave it a 10 out of 15. Performances, I gave a 14 out of 15. No complaints there. Like I said, Wahlberg and Miller are the two best parts of this film. They're absolutely fantastic. Writing, I gave a 12 out of 15. I do have issues with it. That's why it lost 3 points. But in the end, I can give points and bonus points for how raw and real and deep it got. So I did give some bonus points for that. Direction, 7 out of 10. Nothing monumental, nothing incredible. Well done. It was good. Emotion, 10 out of 10. That was obvious. I almost cried. If a movie's going to make me cry, it's probably going to get 10 out of 10 on emotion any day of the week. Cinematography, 7 out of 10. Beautifully shot. I mean, he's walking over, expansive landscapes and beautiful parts of the country. Of course, it's going to look good. Sound, 3 out of 5. Nothing revolutionary. Right in the middle. Scored 3 out of 5. Didn't really notice the score that much. The few moments I did were good, but I didn't really notice that much. It didn't really stand out. Pacing, 2 out of 5. The pacing's rough here. It is pretty rough. Rewatchability, 4 out of 5. I would rewatch it. I think it's very impactful, but it's definitely a film I would need to get into the right state of mind for, because it is very, very emotional. And then the automatic 5 out of 5 points. So if you did the math, that means I gave Joe Bell a 77 out of 100. Like I said, we are sticking in that C+ to C- range. Seen a lot of average movies right now, which is fine, because this is, although I gave it a 77, it's a 3-star on Letterboxd. It is still a movie that I think everyone should go see. It is very impactful. It is an important story with an important message that you all should go check out. But that is pretty much it, guys. I want to thank you all for watching. If any of you happen to watch this weekend, I know that this is not the biggest release to come out. You got Snake Eyes, you got Old, you've got all these other releases coming out. I know this isn't the biggest release, but if you did happen to go watch this movie, let me know down below in the comments. What did you think? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know why. And I want to thank you all for watching. If this is your first time checking out the channel and you have not already, please consider subscribing. It does mean the world. Trying to hit 1,000 by the end of the year. I think we might be able to do it. But we need your support. Guys, that's pretty much it. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.